Every Marine base has weird traditions, but Camp Pendleton had the strangest one I ever encountered, the Midnight Chicken Run. Sounds ridiculous, right? That's because it was. But it was also deadly serious to everyone involved, especially the senior NCOs who'd been doing it for decades. Here's how it worked. Every Friday at exactly midnight, whoever had screwed up the worst that week had to run from the barracks to the chow hall, steal a rubber chicken from the mess sergeant's office, and bring it back without getting caught. The rubber chicken had been there since the Vietnam War. Legend said it belonged to a Marine who died at Khe Sanh. His squad smuggled it back, and it became the sacred relic that nobody talks about during daylight hours. My turn came after I fell asleep on guard duty. Sergeant Major personally escorted me to the starting line at 11:58 p.m. Half the company gathered to watch, pretending they were just out for late night PT. "You have 15 minutes, he whispered. Get caught by the MPs, you're doing this again next week. Failed to retrieve the chicken, you're cleaning latrines until Christmas." The chow hall was half a mile away. Seemed easy enough until I realized the route was crawling with military police. They knew about the tradition, but were ordered to stop anyone they caught. I made it to the building, but the mess sergeant had installed motion sensors. Every step triggered beeping. Had to army crawl through the kitchen like I was defusing a bomb. Found the chicken in his office, sitting on a shelf next to photos of every Marine who'd successfully completed the run. Hundreds of faces dating back 50 years. That's when I understood. This wasn't just hazing, it was initiation. Every Marine on that wall had proven they could complete a mission under pressure, even a stupid one. The return trip was worse. MPs had figured out my route and were waiting. Had to detour through the motor pool, crawl under vehicles, hide behind dumpsters. With 3 minutes left, I was still 200 yards from the barracks. Full sprint across open ground, rubber chicken tucked under my arm like a football. Made it with 30 seconds to spare. The whole company erupted in cheers. Sergeant Major actually smiled, which was terrifying in its own way. But here's the weird part. After that night, everything changed. Senior Marines started treating me differently, including me in conversations, asking my opinion. The chicken run was like a secret handshake. Found out later that Marines who completed it successfully got better assignments, faster promotions, more responsibility. Not officially, of course, just the way things worked. The rubber chicken itself was falling apart. Decades of midnight raids had left it battered and patched. Someone had sewn tiny combat ribbons onto its chest. It wore dog tags from Marines who died in Iraq and Afghanistan. 6 months later, I was helping a new Marine complete his run. Watching him crawl through that kitchen, sweating bullets over a rubber chicken, I finally got it. The tradition wasn't about the chicken. It was about proving you'd do whatever it took for your brothers. Even something completely insane. Especially something completely insane. When I transferred to another base, the Sergeant Major pulled me aside. "You take this tradition with you," he said. "Find a way to test the new guys. Make sure they understand what brotherhood means." Never did start a chicken run at my next assignment, but I found other ways to test character. Little challenges that seemed pointless, but revealed everything about who you could trust in combat. Years later, I ran into another Marine from Pendleton. First thing he asked wasn't about deployments or promotions. It was whether I still had that photo from the chicken run wall. I did. Still do. 40 faces from my platoon, all holding that ridiculous rubber chicken like it was the Medal of Honor. Because in some ways it meant more.